I'm Nick Hughes, and this is Founders Live Conversations.
Good to see you.
Got you a beer. Cheers. Welcome to Founders Live.
Thanks, Nick.
We're sitting here at the Collective Chemistry bar. It's awesome. We got longboard on cold beer here, and thank you for joining me, Joel. Yeah.
You're welcome. Very cool to be here.
Before we get into IdealSeat and your growth, which is awesome, let's go back a little bit to your youth. Where'd you grow up? What did you study? And then how did you get into being an entrepreneur?
Very cool. So I grew up in New York City, in the 70s and 80s, which was a pretty cool time to be in New York City.
Where specifically in New York City?
I was first in the Bronx, and then my family moved out to Long Island.
Nice.
Long Island, as we say, if you have a really bad Long Island accent. And you can always pick off the Long Islanders and the folks from New Jersey pretty easily because we have these horrible accents. Right. And then I eventually moved into Brooklyn, where I spent most of my formative years, and then moved out to Seattle.
Nice.
About 10 years ago.
Nice. So you grew up in Brooklyn, you're saying, youth, high school, that sort of thing.
Long Island, I'd say, was the main years for high school. A little town called Centerport, which is in Huntington, about Mid-Island.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mix of the beauty of, Long Island, but also sort of suburban. So there's always this angst of like, when can we get out of the suburbs and when can we get into the city and be more creative?
Right. And what did you take growing up in that area? What did you adopt into maybe adult and even being a founder? Is there anything that you took from like growing up in, it's different than in Northwest for sure.
Yeah, well, I have to give a lot of credit to my parents, especially my father. He was a statistician at Reader's Digest. So
interesting.
I'm getting goosebumps now,
Yeah.
and I got to run around in 1980 a lot of the original supercomputers, which were these awesome tape drives, reel-to-reel tape drives.
Whoa.
And I was 5, running around like a little kid in these awesome, like futuristic supercomputers. And then when my father would have projects, he'd get me programming in DOS at like 5 years old. And I'd be at this little terminal writing programs. So that was really inspirational to me, and that kind of created the basis of, being